Hello everyone. Hello everyone, Gianluca Massi speaking on the behalf of the Virtual Telescope Project. And it's a pleasure for me to be here, just starting this live feed covering the Perseid meteor shower 2023. I'm very happy to host this event as always because it is an opportunity for the Virtual Telescope Project to bring to you something special. And while I introduce this live feed, I want to start sharing with you the night sky right now, just hoping to start seeing meteors. So I just started sharing with you the live feed coming from our panoramic camera, and perhaps you can see the night sky just above Italy at least. And I want to introduce this event also telling you what we are seeing and mainly what we are hoping to see. Okay, tonight is a special night because we are approaching the maximum of activity of the Perseid meteor shower, the most active meteor shower of the year. So you will see shooting stars, and I strongly suggest you, if you have this opportunity, to go out there personally and hopefully look up and spot you spot a meteor by yourself. I really believe that the experience to see something live is priceless. The Virtual Telescope Project is happy to bring to you this opportunity via the technology as we are doing right now. I want to thank the technological partners of the Virtual Telescope Project. They are, of course, Software Bisque, C-Web, Telescope Live, and I want to thank all the international media which featured our event, making possible for you to learn about this opportunity. While I am speaking, I am sharing with you in real time the panoramic view above our observatory in Manciano, central Italy. I am right now in Rome, of course, sitting at my desktop, but the telescope is about 120 kilometers north from Rome in Tuscany. In Manciano, as I said, under one of the darkest sky we have here. And you can right now start seeing stars. As you can see, we have here this kind of circular mask showing the stars. I will tell you what we are seeing, just indicating you the brightest objects, my friends. Just checking and making sure everything is running. Okay, what is happening here, my friends? This time of the year, you know, every time we want to go out, sorry, we want to go out and look up for meteors. Why we have many meteors happening now? What are Perseids and so on? I will tell you a bit of this along the way, but because before I start telling these things, I want to show you, I want to introduce you to this image, making clear you can understand. As you can perhaps understand by yourself, those points of light are stars. This is a live image coming from, as I said, our observatory. You can recognize here the Milky Way, okay? You can see its trace here just crossing the field of view, and you can see some bright objects. This is the star Vega, for example. This is the star Deneb, and also here we have the star Altair. If you ask where the polar star is, here it is, my friends. This is the polar stars, while the Big Dipper right now is at its lowest position, and these are the stars of the Big Dipper. Perhaps easy, hard to recognize, sorry, because of the perspective on the border of this particular image. Then we have some bright objects like this one. This is not a star, this is planet Jupiter, my friends. Also, we have another planet just out there right now. Here it is. It is planet Saturn, this one. And now I want to show you some more stars, less obvious stars than the three I mentioned earlier, because after observing here Vega, Deneb and Altair, we can now concentrate on this particular shape. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This shape, resembling perhaps a M letter, is Cassiopeia, okay? And this fuzzy spot here is the double cluster of Perseus, and this is a special region of the sky for us tonight because it is where the radiant, the Perseid meteor shower radiant, is located. And by the way, the name of the shower, Perseids, comes from the Perseus constellation, and here it is. This is Mirfak, and here we have the Perseus constellation. These stars here are just part of the constellation of Perseus. So this particular point of the sky is the so-called radiant. Please keep looking at this, because we never know when a bright meteor could show, okay? And we have other interesting stars rising, because this side here is east, okay? This is east. This is north, as we have in that direction the polar star, as I mentioned. This is west, okay? And this is south. So if you look in the east direction, you are seeing rising stars. And among them we have here the Capella star, perhaps the first winter star, at least here in the North Hemisphere, rising while the summer is quickly running out of time. While here we have the Pleiades, very famous group of stars, an open star cluster, visible by naked eye. And here we also have Aldebaran, the brightest star of the Bull, Taurus, another precious important winter constellation. In order to share this site, I did the following. I took our panoramic camera, a so-called all-sky camera, all-sky because it is just covering in a single image, as you can see, the entire sky. Look here, my friends, look here. This is a very, very bright Perseid. Lucky, happy that we can see this live. The first Perseid, bright one, because this system, of course, is going to show us the brightest meteors. So next image we will lose it, because of course the meteor is so fast that you can capture just with one image. So wow, it was fantastic, isn't it? So we could actually test it is working with the very bright meteor in a bright way, I would say. So we have this panoramic camera just pointing up at the center of the sky, overhead, a point we call zenith, my friend, okay? And everything happening in the sky bright enough to be recorded by our panoramic all-sky camera will be shared. So keep in mind, there are many faint meteors we will not see this way. Perhaps we will see them by our own eyes being there, because our eye is much more sensitive than a camera like this. But as you can see, from time to time, a bright object can be easily spotted by this camera. And of course, it is easy to share because the camera is at our remote site, and you can pretty easily, as you can see, access and have a look this way, But as I said, if we have the opportunity, please go out there and look up personally, because this is a truly amazing experience, just observing meteors by yourself, by naked eye. So if you are in the US, for example, so you are waiting for the next night, consider just setting your clock to go out there just a couple hours before dawn, as it is now in Italy, okay? So everything happening, everything showing in front of our camera will be shared this way, and you will admire such a meteor, a bright meteor, as we did right now. So we can see a meteor every time, every night of the year, and basically a meteor is coming from a very small particle of dust just entering our atmosphere. It is moving pretty fast relative to the Earth, a speed of about, let's say, 10-20 kilometers per second. So there is such a friction in our atmosphere, and this is why that grain of dust burns, and it is the phenomenon, the dust grain burning, just putting up the show. So when you see a meteor, basically you are looking at a dusty grain burning up in our atmosphere, okay? And this can happen every time of the year, every hour of the night. But from time to time you can have what we call showers, okay? What is a shower? A shower is a particular intense activity just offering meteors belonging to the same comet. Because of course, as I said, that the source of meteor is a dusty grain, we have to ask ourselves from where that dusty particle is coming. And for example, a good source are comets just orbiting around the sun, and every time they are disseminating their dusty grains, basically their dusty tail, along the orbit. And if the Earth is crossing, for example, the orbit of a comet, you are basically crossing a very huge cloud of dusty debris of its ancient tails. In other words, you are crossing a region of space where you have plenty of those dusty grains. So many of them at the same time are basically entering the atmosphere, just offering the opportunity to turn on many meteors quite often, okay? For example, a few tens per hour, 100 per hour, thousands per hour sometimes. And it is because you are crossing right now a dusty cloud just spread out by a comet that we are seeing this meteor shower. And the comet just creating the particles for the Perseid meteor shower is the comet Swift-Tuttle, okay? This is a periodic comet. The last time we saw it was in 1992, and its period is 135 years, so it will take quite a lot of time before we can see it back again. You can see here, by the way, that the moon is rising, my friends. This bright light is a very small, sharp lunar crescent. So far, we just spotted a very, very bright meteor. I strongly suggest you to keep an eye on this, because you will never know where and when the next meteor will show. So basically, right now, the Earth moving around the Sun along its orbit is crossing a special point. Basically, it is crossing the orbit of comet Swift-Tuttle. The comet is not there, fortunately, but there you have plenty of dusty grains disseminated by the comet along its orbit over the centuries, okay? So we are just surfing through that dusty cloud. And of course, every year, After an entire orbit around the Sun, we are in the same place, just crossing the same orbital intersection with the cometary orbit, the comet Swift-Tuttle orbit. This is why right now every year at the same time basically of the year, at this time of August, you have the Perseid meteor shower. So while we are crossing this dense cloud of debris, okay, we are seeing the effects from the Earth moving through the cloud. I mentioned it. And there is such a nice perspective event just giving us the impression that those meteors coming from the grains belonging to the ancient tails of comet Swift-Tuttle because of a very special perspective event and very special perspective effect are apparently coming from a point in the sky that we call the radiant, and the radiant of Perseid is basically here, not far from Myrfak. Myrfak is the brightest star of Perseus constellation, okay? And this is why we call this shower Perseids, because the radiant, the point from where prospectively the meteors are coming, is located in the Perseid constellation. And I find this very, very interesting to keep in mind, as I said. Of course, I'm not telling that every meteor is just showing here. As we saw earlier, a bright meteor appeared here, but the meaning of the radiant is this. A meteor belonging to the Perseid meteor shower will leave a trail which, moving back along its trail, will point to the radiant, okay? So if you see a meteor moving this way, for example, it cannot be part of the Perseids because the direction of motion is not pointing to the radiant. That is a key factor. So every meteor we can see these nights just apparently pointing, if you track back the trail to the radiant, belongs to the Perseids. Here it is likely another meteor, and likely this is a Perseid too, because if we track back this trail, okay, we basically arrive not far from the radiant. But let's check the next image to see if it was a genuine meteor. Otherwise, being an airplane, you would see it in the next image. But a meteor being so fast is leaving just a trail in a single image. We are taking images back to back, of course, and the evidence is that image after image, this sharp lunar crescent is rising, okay? And here in the upper left, you can see a number, a countdown starting for 30. Every image is collecting light for 30 seconds, my friends. So basically, every 30 seconds, our system is showing what happened in the sky over the last previous 30 seconds, hopefully with meteors crossing the sky. So far we spotted two Perseids. One of them was very bright. So happy that we were looking at the right place at the right time. While such an all-sky camera covering the entire sky is not sensitive to every meteor just crossing the sky, at least it is showing us the whole sky. So in principle, we will see every meteor no matter where it will appear. So far we spotted two of them. I don't know if I missed some of them. Perhaps you had better luck than me. All this is happening thanks to the Virtual Telescope project, bringing to you the most precious and spectacular astronomical events for free. But of course, running this complex facility is not free, and I strongly invite you to consider the opportunity to support our efforts. You can donate whatever you want, whatever you like, to the Virtual Telescope project. Just visit www.virtualtelescope.eu/donate, and from there, you can support us, just helping us paying bills and keeping this project alive, particularly in these hard days. We are really doing a huge effort to keep the Virtual Telescope project up and running. So if you can, if you like what we are doing, if you trust our mission, please consider supporting the Virtual Telescope project. And while I am talking, I hope we are lucky and see more and more meteors. Hope at least we will see a few bright ones, as the one we spotted several minutes ago now. From time to time I will stop talking, but I will leave the live feed opened. Keep an eye here on this number on the upper left, countdown, just telling how many seconds are left to the next image. So until that number is not zero, you are basically seeing the previous image. And once zero, you perhaps can recognize a very marginal update. Here it is, another bright meteor. Look here, happy again that we are having some fun together. Not bad at all, my friends. Very beautiful, very beautiful. Very nice meteor, lucky. And this should belong to the Perseid as well, because if you track back the trail, basically you reach the radiant. Very happy. So we had at least 3 bright meteors right now so far in this 20 minutes since I opened the live feed here, bringing to you the Perseid meteor shower, brought to you, as I said, by the Virtual Telescope Project facility in Italy. Every time our countdown reaches 0, we had the opportunity to see new meteors. Look how quickly here the sky is moving, because now the moon is quite bright and apparent here, compared to 20 minutes ago where we had no moon basically. Also here Capella is now pretty high in the sky, still rising, still east. Cassiopeia here is almost overhead here in central Italy, where the telescope facility is located. And here we have Aldebaran, the bright planet Jupiter, and the famous, spectacular, through a binocular, Pleiades, perhaps the most famous star cluster. So far we had 3 meteors, one of them very bright. So we are keep this running, so 3 meteors and hopefully counting, as they say. And let's hope we will see more and more. No new meteors so far, but as I said, we had just to wait and hope. And you can just ask a meteor to bring with her a wish, as the tradition says. Unfortunately, it doesn't work this way, but believing this is just joy, so it's welcome. The maximum of activity is expected in about a few hours, so of course more or less, as we doing this job used to say. So my friends in the US have better opportunities in their morning hours to spot the best of the Perseid meteor shower. Keep in mind that the activity of the Perseid meteor shower is not concentrated in these very hours, of course. The Perseid meteor shower is active from basically the half of July until more or less the end of August. Right now we have the highest activity, okay, these very days, so don't worry if you could not look up these very hours, because the last few days and the next few days will offer you basically the same opportunities. Likely this is a satellite trail, for sure not a Perseid, because the trail is not pointing to the radiant. Let's see the next image. Okay, very likely it was a faint meteor not belonging to the Perseid meteor shower, okay? So far we had 3 of them. This year is pretty lucky because the moon is just a very small crescent impacting basically 0. And here we can see Orion rising. Oh my god. The king or the queen of the winter constellations. This is Betelgeuse and Bellatrix, 2 of its brightest stars. The closer, by the way, a Perseid will show, the closer to the radiant the meteor will show, basically the shorter the trail. This is again matter of perspective. And if you have a bright Perseid, just appearing far from the radiant, the trail should be long. While in principle, a meteor, a Perseid meteor, just showing just in front of the radiant, will be a point of light. So we are just approaching half an hour of our live feed. We spotted 3 genuine Perseids. One of them was spectacular, by the way, very bright. Happy that we could see it. And a couple more. So we want to see more and more. So keeping an eye every time our countdown reaches 0, a new image is displayed and a new opportunity to spot something for us. Let's hope. Keep an eye on the screen and hopefully see a bright meteor in the next 5 seconds. I love looking at this kind of images provided by our all sky camera. The entire sky on a single image. You can recognize here, as I say, the Milky Way, a precious feature in the night sky, visible only where, if you are under very dark skies, you have the bright planet Jupiter here, you have planet Saturn here, how beautiful it is, and then you have the 3 brightest summer stars, summer at least in this part of the Earth, the North Hemisphere. This is Vega, this is Deneb, and this is Altair, the summer triangle, how it is called. And these are the Pleiades, a very beautiful star cluster. And here, let me see, here you see a fuzzy object, and that is the Andromeda. galaxy, my friends, the Andromeda galaxy. Not bad, eh? I want to thank all of you joining this live feed, being a virtual guest of the Virtual Telescope project, bringing to you the opportunity to spot a bright meteor belonging to the Perseid meteor shower. Perhaps here we have another trail, faint, and very likely this is a genuine Perseid too, because the trail, if you track this back, you basically approach the radiant region. So this faint trail is very likely another Perseid. How happy? We saw a few of them now via the Virtual Telescope project event. As I said, I invite you to consider supporting our project. If you like what we are doing, please really consider supporting us. We are offering everything for free, but our advanced technology is not free, it is not cheap. We have to pay bills and so on. So if you can support our project, that would be great. Just visit www.virtualtelescope.eu/donate, and from there you are welcome supporting us the way you want. We spotted a few Perseid so far, but I want to see more and more, and I guess the same for you. And we are collecting light via our camera, all-sky camera. Every exposure is 30 seconds long, and at the end of this countdown the new image is displayed. When we reach 0 here, a new image is displayed, and the new image should be checked for new meteors, even faint ones. While the all-sky camera is offering at a glance the entire sky, we are missing the fainter meteors, okay? This is why we are not seeing them so often. But at the same time, the all-sky camera is giving us an idea of the night sky overhead, and also it is making possible for us to monitor the entire sky, because you never know where a meteor will appear, okay? Happy that we had so far a nice experience. We are just in the morning hours here in Italy. Our digital eye, our camera is located in southern Tuscany. Sorry, in Manciano, under one of the most precious skies of my country. We are losing the sky because of light pollution, and this is why I located the scientific instrumentation part of the Virtual Telescope project here. And we are working, of course, to preserve this night sky there. Now I will take a break, but will leave the live feed opened, and of course I will keep monitoring the situation, and should a bright meteor appear, I will jump into the live feed to comment. See you in a few minutes, but keep an eye because images are coming live, even if I am not talking. Here it is another very bright meteor and another faint one. So two meteors at a glance, a bright one here and a faint one here. Very happy and lucky. So we are blessed to see some very interesting meteors right now. Here it is another meteor here, and this one also luckily is part of the Perseid meteor shower as well. Please note here the legendary Orion belt just rising, sitting on the east horizon. How beautiful to see Orion rising. Just at summer, at the end of the night, while of course in winter we can enjoy that amazing constellation all night long. Please, friends, consider supporting the Virtual Telescope project. Visit www.virtualtelescope.eu/donate website, and from there donate whatever you want to keep this project alive. We are bringing to you the Perseid Meteor Shower 2023 live via our all-sky camera located in Italy, just in Tuscany, under one of the darkest sky of Italy. So far we saw several Perseids, a few of them very bright and spectacular, so I'm very happy that we are seeing these things, happy to bring to you this show, and again I invite you to consider going out there personally. If you are in the US and you are waiting for the morning, the end of the night, just consider going out there and look up, because the joy to personally see meteors is priceless. But still, I'm happy that the Virtual Telescope project is bringing to you the opportunity to join this event from the comfort of your home, or if you simply cannot access the real sky personally. We have been doing this for 17 years now, and I want to thank all of you, actually a few just supporting us over this long period of time. We never ask for money to look at the sky through our facility, but as I said, this advanced technology which started just this original way to enjoy the night sky, we basically invented this 17 years ago, and the advanced technology making possible for you to enjoy the cosmos in real time via the internet is just a complex technology. And if you want to help us facing the efforts to keep all this alive, you are truly welcome. Thank you so much. Just visit www.virtualtelescope.eu/donate and consider supporting our effort from there, my friends. Thank you in advance. Hope to see more and more. Every time the countdown here in the upper left reaches 0, a new image is displayed, and we can eagerly look across the image to spot any hint of a new meteor. We saw several Perseids so far, some of them bright, very bright and spectacular. At least 2 of them were amazing, to say the least. Now I will mute the audio, but we'll be back in a few minutes. And again, here it is, friends, another bright meteor. So happy. Here it is, and this is a genuine Perseid, and there is also a faint one not far from Jupiter here, as you can see, because if you trace back the trail, you reach the region of the radiant ear. So 2, 1 and 2. Very nice meteors. Not bad, my friends. I'm very happy. Look here. This could be a meteor. I am unsure if it is part of the Perseids or not. If it is a meteor at all, because, but not a Perseid, because the trail is not just pointing to the radiant. It was a sporadic meteor, just adding to the total of meteors we are seeing. So far, very nice. Well, we are lucky. While also Regal is rising here, and the Orion belt here is shining east. We are up and running, keeping an eye virtually on the sky. A bright moon is rising, you see. So I will be back with my comment in a few minutes, ready to jump in case of a meteor. Keeping an eye to the night sky. We have been lucky so far, spotting now a number of Perseids. A couple of them were honestly very bright and spectacular, and we must say we are lucky and happy so far. Happy that the Virtual Telescope project has been lucky bringing to you some wonderful meteors, Perseid meteors, and we are keep looking up, of course. We never know what will happen at the end of the countdown. Every time a new image is secured and shared. How beautiful the night sky is every time. And the Virtual Telescope project has been around over the last 17 years now. Oh my god. Look here, a satellite trail, because I spotted it in the previous image. Now here, very likely, it will be visible in the next image too. Otherwise, it should be a meteor recorded at the no, it's a satellite, of course, as I said earlier. It can happen that a meteor will be covered by two images taken back to back if the transition from image 1 to image 2 is extremely fast, as in this case, but it is unlikely. And in fact, this is a satellite trail, just showing that the image we are looking at is live. It's actually, I think, an airplane, because if I'm seeing correctly, this is a chain of bright dots, like pulses. It would be nice to see a natural trail, a meteor, at the same time. Let's hope in this. Yes, I confirm this is an airplane. Up and running. An airplane is crossing the field of view. No meteors over the last few minutes. Orion is rising. Here it is, its legendary belt, the famous Betelgeuse star, Rigel Ear, Aldebaran, Height of the Bull, bright Jupiter, Deneb, Airplane Trail, Vega, and Altair. Waiting for countdown reaching 0 for a new image to be shown, hopefully with plenty of bright meteors. Not in this case. Also the Milky Way. Here it is, the Milky Way. Here it is the position of the radiant between the stars here of Cassiopeia and Perseus, and the radiant is part of the Perseus constellation, hence the name of the meteor shower. A meteor shower is named after the constellation hosting the radiant. Perseid, because the radiant, the point from where apparently the trails are coming, is in the Perseus constellation. Here we also have planet Saturn slowly moving west. Here it is another very bright meteor, but this is not part of the Perseids because it's a short ray, by the way, is not pointing to the radiant, but still a wonderful bonus. Very bright meteor here, my friends. Look. While we have been lucky so far, we really want an epic, bright fireball crossing the sky. We want it. While we are virtually looking up via the virtual telescope project, I want to invite you just supporting our effort visiting www.virtualtelescope.eu/donate, helping us to keep this project alive. As you can see, we are bringing to you amazing astronomical events. We have been doing this over the last 17 years, and we kindly ask you to consider to help us just facing this huge effort to keep the project alive, up and running, and paying bills. So visit virtualtelescope.eu/donate to help us. Thanks in advance, and hoping to bring to you more meteors now that Orion here is almost complete with Betelgeuse, Bellatrix, Rigel, and we are waiting for the 4-star barely visible Sahif and the famous here Belt. Look, my friends! Not sure this is a Perseid because its trail is not pointing to the right place. This is the radiant, but still a nice sight. Lucky so far. Quite a number of meteors now. Look also at the Orion sword here. So the winter starts here with Aldebaran, Betelgeuse, Rigel and Capella are rising, while the summer ones are setting, like here you see Altair, Vega, and Deneb. Bright planet Jupiter here. The brightest dot of light, of course, after the moon rising. We were lucky this year because the moon is so small, just a sharp crescent, and it is basically impacting zero. Otherwise, a bright moon can really be a disaster if you want to see many meteors. Of course, we don't have only the Perseid meteor shower. Another very famous meteor shower is the Geminid one. Unfortunately, Geminids are putting their amazing show, by the way, at the middle of December, when temperatures are much more harder to face than at summer. But Geminids are amazing. Some observers consider Geminids even more spectacular than Perseids, and they are the peculiar, progenitor in an asteroid, not a comet, which is basically the rule, with precious exceptions like for the Geminids, where the progenitor is, as I said, an asteroid, Phaethon, and the connection between meteor showers and the dusty grains left by a comet was made by Schiaparelli in the 19th century. Schiaparelli is the father of the Mars Canal. Let's hope to see some additional meteors. I want a bright one. Luckily here another meteor with chances to be part of the Perseid shower. Here it is, faint trail here. Sorry, it is a satellite. because we see it again in the next image, just moving to the radiant, but this is an artificial satellite. Keep looking up virtually, thanks to the all-scale camera of the Virtual Telescope project in Manciano, southern Tuscany in Italy, about 120 kilometers north of Rome. If you trust our mission, if you believe we are doing a good job sharing no less than the real sky in real time via the internet for free with the world, consider supporting us, because keeping this advanced technology alive is not cheap. It's not free, unfortunately. And we have no funding, because all this is a personal effort, just motivated by a huge love for the night sky and an enthusiastic desire to share what I love with the world. I've been doing this over the last 17 years now, and if you want to support our project, now relocating under a very dark sky site, consider supporting us by donations. You can donate whatever you want via our website. Just visit www.virtualtelescope.eu/donate, and from there you can really help us keeping all this alive, my friends. Thank you for considering this opportunity. I want to thank that small handful of friends which wanted to donate while they were looking this live feed. Thank you so much, and please consider doing the same, because facing these hard times, it's not easy for us, and we are really doing a tremendous effort to keep everything up and running. So thank you very much for your time considering supporting us. In case, visit www.virtualtelescope.eu. Meantime, not sure this is a meteor or not, this faint trail. The next image will say this is not sure to be a meteor. The next image, it's a satellite trail, because now it is here. Okay, funny also to train our eye to recognize what is natural, a meteor, and what is an ArtSat. Keeping an eye virtually on the sky. We had a good number of Perseid so far, but we have been missing them these last 10 minutes or so. So, Perseid, please wake up. Also because we are slowly approaching down. At some point we will see the eastern horizon here, from where everything in the sky is rising, getting brighter and brighter because of down. So we want a few more bright meteors. Waiting and waiting and hoping. Like after a fireworks show, at the end at least, you want some very spectacular final firework, okay? While we are still running, we'll keep running for a while. I want such a spectacular meteor. Every time is a good one for having it. Now Orion is complete, you can see quite easily here. Rigel, Saiph, Betelgeuse and Bellatrix, framing the legendary belt of the hunter and the sword as well. Keep looking up via our all-sky camera. Another trail here. I don't think it's a meteor, and should it be a meteor, it is not a Perseid, because the direction of the trail has nothing to do with the radiant, which is located here, not far from the Perseus double cluster. In fact, it is a satellite. Perhaps you can recognize how the eastern horizon here on the right is slowly getting brighter because we entered the astronomical twilight, and by now, actually by a few minutes, the sky is getting brighter. The nominal night has ended, but we still are up and running because we can see bright meteors any moment while the sun is below the horizon, while we are blessed with a dark sky, as in this case. We have been running for 80 minutes now, more or less. We saw a good number of meteors. A couple of Perseids were honestly spectacular. But still we want to see more before the sun will say us, go to sleep. It has been a very rewarding experience for me so far. If you like the idea, if you like the virtual telescope project and what we are doing, please support us. Visit www.virtualtelescope.eu/donate and from there support us, help us. Look here, my friends, this is another bright meteor, not belonging to the Perseid meteor shower, but it is very bright. Now gone after a new image is displayed, so consider supporting our project virtualtelescope.eu/donate. If you like what we do, you know we are offering this for free to everyone, but of course keeping this advanced project alive is not cheap. Particularly the last year has been honestly very hard, so consider supporting us if you want, if you can. Thank you in advance. Perhaps this is another meteor here, my friends. In case this is a good Perseid pointing to the radiant, but next image will tell. Oh, it's a satellite. Well, in principle, if you have too much constant in brightness trail, it is not a meteor because the evolution in brightness of a meteor is it starts, the meteor reaches a peak, then it fades. All this very quickly. While if you have a trail with basically constant brightness, it is unlikely. But again, it was placed in very right direction and very likely it will cross the radiant region. But this is an artificial object. We are up and running, my friends, virtually looking up via the Virtual Telescope Project. Gianluca Massi speaking from Rome, while our observatory is about 120 kilometers north in Tuscany, Manciano, in the legendary Maremma countryside under a pristine sky. You can see the Milky Way, the precious Milky Way, such a precious, elegant feature of the night sky. Most of us missed the Milky Way because of light pollution, unfortunately. So happy with what we have seen so far, honestly. How quickly we are approaching down. Look on the right, the horizon, the eastern horizon is getting brighter and brighter while the sun is approaching the horizon from below. It will be amazing to see another bright meteor before the sun will tell us the game is over. But I'm happy with what we saw. We were happy to see all the Perseid meteor shooting stars we saw together. Two of them were particularly bright, even a few sporadic ones made the experience even more rewarding to me. Again, consider supporting the virtual telescope project. To have more and more free live events like this available, visit www.virtualtelescope.eu/donate and from there support us. I thank in advance all of you who will decide to support the virtual telescope project, keeping this activity alive. We pioneered this arena because we started sharing astronomy live on the internet 17 years ago. Wow. I was basically a child at the time. I'm impressed and very proud of the many accomplishments of the virtual telescope since then. Such an highly acclaimed facility featured by the most important media and space related agencies and websites of the planet. And thank to the handful of donors who from time to time supports us. Please consider supporting us. Visit www.virtualtelescope.eu/donate. Thank you very much in advance. The sky is getting brighter and brighter, but I still want to see a bright meteor. Okay, it's my personal wish. At some point tomorrow, I will carefully go through the hundred of images we collected, okay, to just to select those showing a meteor, and we'll publish them on the Virtual Telescope website or our Facebook page. I suggest you, by the way, to join our Facebook page to keep up to date. We still want a bright meteor. How fast the horizon is getting brighter, brighter and brighter. Come on, Perseids. Perhaps Perseids went to sleep for a while, but we are still on time to have a few more trails. Now that we are 90 minutes into this live feed, still nothing here. Here we have a bright meteor right now, thanks to Perseid meteor shower for this almost final gift, while the sunlight is spreading just all around the sky. And this bright meteor is just rewarding while we approach the end of this live feed. Thank you, Perseid, for giving us this gift. Also, there is something interesting here, not sure. Perhaps this is another small meteor, but of course nothing to do with Perseids, not coming from the radiant. But next image we'll see. Not sure if this is a mistake of mine. No, it was a genuine meteor, but not as I said, Perseid. So friends, we are approaching the end of this live feed for obvious reasons. The sun is ready to come back here in Italy. I want to thank all of you for joining, a lot of you by the way. Happy that once again the virtual telescope did its job, bringing to you for free, no matter where you are on the planet, via the technology, via the internet, the experience of the night sky live. We shared with you the Perseid meteor shower 2023. We saw a good number of them, some of them truly spectacular, like the last one we spotted 2 minutes ago, more or less. And I want to invite you to the next live feed we will host at the end of the month, when we will share the closest full moon, the super moon of the year, the blue super moon. We will do the live feed on August 30. I will announce this on our website pretty soon, after some good rest, by the way. And I want to honestly invite you, while we have something interesting here, very likely not a meteor, not belonging to the meteor shower. Okay, I want to invite you to donate and support the Virtual Telescope project. Please visit our website www.virtualtelescope.eu/donate, and from there, please consider supporting us, helping us keeping this precious, now legendary project alive. I want to thank all of you for joining. I will close my audio comment now. We leave the live feed coming for a while, but I see more and more light is coming, but you will never know if an epic fireball will just cross the sky while the sun is ready to rise. Thank you for joining, my friends. Gianluca Masi Virtual Telescope Project, Rome, Italy, is sending to you his best wishes, and consider donating the Virtual Telescope Project via www.virtualtelescope.eu website, joining our YouTube channel and also our Facebook page. This way you will never miss anything special, everything special up there in the sky. Take care, my friends. Keep looking up, and see you soon on board.